What's good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today's going to be a reaction to Jonathan Givony's top 100 prospects for the 2025 NBA draft. Now, obviously, we will not be reacting to every single one. We'll go through the top 25 and kind of just skim the rest, but make sure to like and subscribe. Go to the description to submit your video ideas, and let's get right into it with Jonathan Givony's top 100 prospects for the 2025 NBA draft. For number one, pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. It's going to be Cooper Flag out of Duke. It's a guy that can basically do everything on the court. He could play defense. He could switch against guards. He could also guard the big man as well. His offensive game, well, might be left up a little bit for desire. If he's able to hit that three-point jump shot, I think is as good as anything that Cooper Flag will be the consensus number one pick in this draft. I 100% agree. Number two, it's going to be Ace Bailey out of Rutgers. Again, 100% agree. This is my number two prospect as well. I think same thing with Cooper Flag. If we can really see that three-point jump shot fall at the collegiate level, I think he's a lock number two pick as well. I think Cooper Flag obviously definitely more safe at number one than Ace Bailey is at number two. But I think if he has that three-point jump shot, there's nobody else I'm taking over him except Cooper Flag. At three, we have someone I don't exactly agree with to this extent. I think he's still a top five prospect. We're gonna have Dylan Harper here out of Rutgers. I think he's a very solid combo guard, and he should be a good combo guard at the Rutgers level as well. I want to see him continue to improve that playmaking ability. I want to see how well it plays at the collegiate level because if it doesn't really play and he really turns into a 6'6", maybe Kevin Porter Jr. type of player, we kind of view this guy in a different light. But I think if he does be a good playmaker, if he is a good playmaker at Rutgers this season, by the way, they're ranked 25th to start the year, which is pretty good. I have no problem having him in my top three. I just want to see that develop because it's not something I didn't see while he was obviously still in high school, but it's something I would really like to see really develop at the next level. Dylan Harper at three, again, I'm cool with it, but there's definitely some stuff to his game, like maybe the defensive side of the ball as well, that I'd like to see continue to progress. VJ Edgecombe here at four. We know what he's going to bring. He's an uber athletic wing. He's at 6'4". It says 6'5" here. I think he's definitely closer to 6'4". So if he's gonna have to get, or he's gonna have to get his guard skills or lead guard skills up a little bit because a 6'4" non-point guard or 6'4", even not even combo guard, really, he's really just a slashing wing, could maybe be a problem to some NBA teams. But if he's going to be a good playmaker at Baylor this year, again, top four is no problem to me. I have him personally in my top five, so I'm cool with this. Nolan Trior here at pick number five. He is a lead guard despite being about 6'5". Think that there's no problems to this guy's game. Maybe the three-point shot is something to note, which is definitely something I've said about a couple of these prospects so far. But if he's able to maybe smooth out that jump shot a little bit, I know it's kind of a hitch, kind of a two-motion jump shot. I think Nolan Trior can be a top three pick in this year's draft. Some people will question his motor. I just don't think that's something he can accurately represent, especially at 18 years old. So I expect him to be solid. I expect his motor to not be questioned, and he should be a top five pick in Nolan Trior. And he's personally my number one point guard in this draft class. Con Knuppel here at pick number six. Maybe a bit interesting. I don't know if I have him this high because I think there's definitely some value of shooting down the board as well. But what I do know from Con Knuppel is he is probably the best shooter in this year's draft class. I've thrown around the names of Alex Tuhey. I've thrown around the names of Lee McNeely, but I think truly you got to give it to Con Knuppel right now. Apparently, preseason stuff with Duke, he's been looking amazing. As Gaboni says here, 47% of his attempts from three pointers at the EYBL level as well. I think that maybe he could be a top 10 guy, maybe a lottery guy. I personally would not value his shooting this high, though. We saw a guy in Corey Kispert go at the end of the lottery. Maybe he could be something similar to that, but six is kind of rich for a pretty stacked draft class. At number seven, we're going to have Drake Powell out of North Carolina. I've talked about it basically all up until the regular season for college basketball. It's going to be very interesting to see. I think my camera's not on right now. I'll try to fix it for the next clip. It's going to be very interesting to see who ends up being the better prospect this year from Drake Powell and Ian Jackson. They play similar positions. Um, will they have similar impacts? Who's going to play more? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I personally do like Drake Powell over him right now. I think number seven is fine. At number eight, we're going to have Kamal Malak here out of Duke. Another very interesting prospect. He's definitely very raw. He does have high potential. 7'2", as it says right here, 250 pounds with a 7'6" wingspan. Could be a nice lob threat. Will be a very good rim protector. Hopefully, at the collegiate level, we'll see how many minutes he plays. We'll see if he's even the starter over there. It's going to be very interesting for Kamal Malak. I could see him as high as a top six pick. I can also see him fall to the late first round because we don't see that much of a sample size from him this year. But if he does improve on both sides of the ball, maybe gets his post presence up as being an actual on ball post player, maybe we could see Kamal Malak going to the lottery. But for right now, I'm definitely a bit iffy. At number nine, we're gonna have Hugo Gonzalez here of Spain, Real Madrid. Um, ugh, I love Hugo Gonzalez. You guys know he's a top five prospect for me. So far, what we've saw out of him since the summer hasn't been a lot. He really isn't getting that much playing time at all, which kind of worries me. I haven't been watching too many of his games, but I've seen some stuff. I've seen the lack of minutes, obviously, where I guess I haven't seen the minutes. And yeah, it might be tough for him to really get into that top five like I hope he can get to, which I believe he can get into. But maybe he is a late lottery guy. Maybe he is a 16 to 20 guy, which I think would be a very good job for what NBA team would pick him out right outside the lottery. But I really do think he has the talent to be a top five pick in this draft class. And it's kind of tough to see his minutes just not being there. And really, that's more of a testament to him than Real Madrid. Liam McNeely here at number 10. Again, he's the perfect guy for the Dan Hurley system. He's going to be able to stretch that floor, be able to put the ball on the ground, get to the basket, which is something I really want to see out of him this year. And especially as a UConn fan, I'm excited for what Liam McNeely is going to bring. Now, the stretch three slash stretch four, he's listed at 6'7". I don't think he's going to play the shooting guard or small forward role. We have guys like Solo Ball, Aiden Mahaney. We have like a lot of nice shooting guards to or wings specifically to fill that shooting guard role. I think he'll play more of the small forward slash power forward, be more of a stretch forward. And I think at that spot he'll be very good for UConn next season. Interesting though. We'll see what happens to him. We'll see if he really plays into that part in the Dan Hurley system. It's all set up for him. Really, all he has to do is play his role. At 11, we're going to have Igor Demon here, excuse me, out of BYU. Very polarizing prospect from overseas. I forgot exactly what country he was. He was playing at Real Madrid with Hugo Gonzalez, but I forgot what exact country he's originally from. Looks like he's from Russia. But yeah, he's going to be a nice point forward for them. He's also great at playing on the block, great at playing out the short corner as well. He should be just a really solid playmaker, especially at 6'9". A lot of NBA teams are going to like that, kind of find it hard for him to slip out of the lottery. Colin Murray Boyle is here at number 12 from South Carolina. He's going to be a very versatile defender at the next level. Again, is he going to be able to shoot the three? Who knows? We'll see. I think this year is going to be very big for him to stretch the floor, but he's a very solid post player. He's going to have more experience. He's now a sophomore here. He's a young one, but he's a sophomore now here at South Carolina. I think we should see some good progression from him. Continue to be a very solid playmaker from the post. Continue to run that type of point forward we saw from him last year. And again, if he hits that 3-point shot, you could be looking at a top 10 prospect here in Colin Murray Boyles. Carter Bryant here at 13. Definitely not a guy I expected to see. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Cosmos Yakushonis here. But yeah, he's just going to be a very athletic forward for Arizona next year. Again, his shot making, will it go to the next level? We'll see. And that's really going to determine his lottery status. Me personally, he's kind of in the mid 20s for me. I think there's a lot of prospects that take over him. But it'll be interesting to see if Carter Bryant really gets into lottery talks going into next year. Trey Johnson at 14, another guy I'm a bit lower on than the general consensus, but he's ball dominant. He's going to be able to shoot a lot of shots. We'll see if the shots fall, though. That's going to be a big thing for him this year at Texas. If he's efficient, I could see him go as high as the top 10, maybe even higher than that. But if he's not, maybe we see a Jacoby Walter type um, stock from him where he starts off really hot, but he kind of dwindles down to the end of the season. I personally would have him in my 20s right now, but I could see why some people would really like to have Trey Johnson next year. Prosper Jonas here at pick 15, another prospect I really love. I mean, honestly, I put him in my top. I usually have three guys every year that I call my prospects. Maybe Prosper Jonas could be that for me this year. Maybe not. I have guys like Nolan Trier. I have guys like Jalen Stewart. We'll get to him maybe in a little bit. Hopefully, he's on this list. But yeah, I really like Prosper Jonas, especially recently when I've watched him a lot more. He should be very good for Illinois this year. Again, it seems like a guy that has one of the highest floors we have in this draft class where he's just going to be solid next year for Illinois. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to be a really good playmaker at 6'6". And if that 3-point shot falls, which is a big question for a lot of guys in this draft class, we could see a lottery pick here in Kasper Jonas from Illinois. Ben Saraf here at pick 16. I've seen comparisons to Denny Avdia. Again, these playmaking 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", even 6'9" guys like Igor Demon. These playmaking forwards are kind of just coming out of the overseas run. For him, it's Germany. Sometimes it's Russia. For Jonas, it was Lithuania. Yeah, these guys are coming in. They're coming fast. And looking like Ben Saraf is going to be another one of those point forwards for where does he play right now? I don't know how to pronounce this, but I've watched some of his film. He's gonna be another point forward, and I think he should have a really good year next year. Monty Rivas here at 17 out of Arizona. He's gonna have a really big role next year, as it says right here, because Umar Ballo transferred from Arizona. So who knows? Can we see a maybe big year this year from Krivas? Him and Carter Bryant have big chances to move up their stock. And for an Arizona team that's kind of searching for a general identity this year, they lost Pele Larson. They still have Caleb Love, who we know kind of is a shot chucker. I'd like to see guys kind of develop and just flourish in the role, like Krivas, like Carter Bryant. And I think Krivas can definitely be a first round pick come June. On 18, we're going to have Noah Essengay out of France, or Germany, excuse me. Or he's from France, but he's playing in Germany. He's one of the youngest guys in this year's draft class. Again, great passer as a forward. Another one of those potential point forwards. I don't think Essengay will be just as that similar to a Ben Saraf, similar to an Igor Demin, maybe even similar to a guy like Hugo Gonzalez. I consider Yaku Jonas more of a point guard, but he's got really good playmaking talent from that forward position. And if he has a good year this year, I think isn't he playing with Ben Saraf? Yeah, they're playing on the same team. If he has a really big year, or maybe this is league. Is this league or team? If it's team, it'd be really cool to see them play together. But if it's not, then I guess what I'm saying doesn't make any sense. If he has a big year, though, I expect him to be in lottery talks for sure. He's been one of the most polarizing prospects so far that I've seen. Darian Reed here out of Alabama. Going to be completely honest. I do not expect him to come out this year. I think he'll spend another year at Alabama, as most forwards at Alabama do, except for Brandon Miller, obviously. Alabama's going to play really fast this year, and I think Darian Reed will play into that kind of perfectly. At 6'8", he can sort of create his own shot. He's a really athletic player, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And like I said before, if he can create his own shot, we could see a lottery prospect here in Darian Reed, or we could see a guy who comes in to year two as a top 10, top 5 prospect for next year. Michael Ruzic here at pick 20 out of Spain. This guy kind of threw up on the draft board, just maybe a little bit too high when I made my initial mock draft. He is extremely raw. Yeah, really just a raw player. We're still really seeing how his game's going to fully develop. He's raw, he's long, and we'll see if he's going to develop a jump shot, if he's truly going to be another one of those playmaking forwards, and where his game develops from there. 21, we're going to have Jaleel Bethea out of Miami, another one of those great shot creators, similar to Trey Johnson. I kind of have him on the same tier of player right now. If his efficiency isn't there, we can see late first round to early second round. If his efficiency is there, I predict him to be a lottery prospect. Like I said, great shot maker, but we'll see if his efficiency is there. Will Riley here at 22, him being 6'8" and potentially the best shooter in this draft class, he's a guy that I could definitely mention before when I was talking about Lee McNeely, Tom Knuppel, Alec Tuhi. He's definitely a guy that I could see being the best shooter of this draft class. Again, late lottery guy, early non-lottery guy. It's kind of where I see Will Riley going right now. But him being at 6'8" kind of rises his ceiling just a little bit. Kenneth Catchings here at pick 23. Interesting. Um, Very interesting. I don't really consider him a first round prospect right now. I also kind of consider him to stay another year at BYU next year, develop under a guy like Kevin Young. Maybe they get an AJ DeBanza, who knows? But yeah, interesting. We'll see what happens to Kenan Catchings if he really flourishes in this BYU role, or if he kind of just gets demoted to an end of bench type of guy, because I can really see both. 23 is a bit high though. We'll see what happens. Rocco Zikarsky is a guy I have a lot higher than what Jonathan Govoni here has at 24. I think he's the lottery guy for me right now. He is a 7'3", big man. I mean, he's the generation strong guy in the post. And like it says before, he has had a great start to the season. If we can really see that ramp up, we're going to see a big jump from Zikarsky, especially on Jonathan Govoni's board. Again, potential first round, potential lottery guy for me. And I really like him here out of Australia. Derek Queen here at 25 doesn't have the size that a guy like Rocco Zikarsky has, and he can't really shoot at all. So I expect him to stay another year at Maryland, hopefully to, get that 3-point shot there. Interesting to see if he really will declare for next year's draft. And then we're gonna have the rest of the big board kind of just fly through them. Donnie Freeman, he's a guy I have a lot higher. I think will have a great season at Syracuse this year. Ian Jackson, we talked about him a little bit earlier. Tyrese Proctor, I don't really see as a top 30 prospect. Dink Pate, will he really truly grow into those flashes that we saw out of G League Ignite last year? He's going to be on the Mexico City G League team this year. Caravan, as consistent as a prospect comes. Then we have guys like Austin Newell, I can see a bunch higher. Jalen Stewart out of UConn, learn the name because I think he'll have a really big season this year for them. Then as we continue scrolling down, there's Alex Tuhey out of Australia. Ryan Kalkbrenner could really jump up the boards a lot, especially if the big man is not going to be too strong this year. Anybody else we could really talk about? We have Big Z, Zvonimir Visic out of Arkansas. Interesting to see how he will do this year. Then other than that, Hunter Sal's at 53. That definitely seems a bit low. I think Hunter Sal's would be a lot higher than 53 this year. But yeah, other than that, interesting. Ellie Cadeau at 72. Okay. Nick Clifford here at 80. Ooh, 80? He's a guy I thought could 100% be a second round pick this year if he decides to declare. I expect him to be 50s, maybe late 40s. I really like Nick Clifford. I'm surprised they have him at 80. Wow, that's actually very interesting. Samson Johnson at 85 out of UConn. Can't really shoot at all, but if you want to put him at 85, sure, go ahead. Other than that, interesting, very interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go into the description to submit your video ideas. And I'm looking to make another NBA mock draft, a preseason college basketball mock draft, or right before the regular season starts, because I just want to make a new one. I like making NBA mock drafts. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go to the description to submit your video ideas, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.